Welcome inside the pool area here at Birmingham Seaholm High School. I'm Brad Fetters for BACB Sports, joined by Nick Buckler and Andy Aubrey. The diving portion of tonight's varsity swim and dive meet taking place first. Artesia Yaramian, exhibition dive, back dive into the straight position. 1.0, 2.0, 3.0.
You know, they would say that's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Based on the judges' scores there.
Anaya Green up next for Birmingham Grove. She too will be a exhibition dive. Forward dive into the tuck position. Now the varsity portion of the first dive. It'll be Izzy Morris from Birmingham Groves. Back dive into the tuck position. Back dive easy, obviously, to identify. Back is to the water. But perhaps some of our viewers not familiar with the tuck position. Be Anderson Lee. And it doesn't appear that the scores are correctly being broadcast onto the big screen here at Seaholm. Anderson Lee from Seaholm, back dive into the straight position. Taking plenty of time at the end of the board. So can't give you scores. The scores you're seeing on your screens right now are not correct. So apologize for the technical difficulties they are having here maintaining the scoreboard. Natalie Woodridge up next. Birmingham Groves, back dive into the pike position, and now it looks like they might be resetting the system, so perhaps we'll get those scores to you. When we talk about the pike position, Nick, talking about the dive. Diver's body being bent at the waist, chest laying flat against their thighs. Diver's legs should stay straight with their toes pointed throughout the pike. Meanwhile, the head should be positioned to look out over their toes.
Always good to know what's coming ahead of time.
Nice skews from Birmingham Seal. Back dive into the straight position. Still do not have a working scoreboard, so once again, apologize for that. And I'll bring up Lauren Deegan, and Lauren finished 4th in the county, Oakland County, in diving about a week ago. So she is the real deal. Forward dive into the straight position. Deegan back dive into the pike there. And our last diver in round 1 will be Kate Ballard. Ballard in that Oakland County meet finished 11th in diving. It'll be a back 1 somersault into the straight position. See that straight position, diver's body needs to be kept in a fluid line, not bent at the hips or knees. Head and shoulders held high throughout the dive. Hips rolled forward for a flat back.
And that's how you get that minimal ripple or splash, so to speak, to try to get in as straight as possible.
And no belly flops here.
I would not be good at diving. And Well, I guess swimming for that matter, too. Unless there was the doggy paddle.
Tiza up next, exhibition dive, inward dive into the pike position. 1.5 degree of difficulty, gets a big smile as she comes out of the pool.
I think some of the less initiated spectators are clapping as soon as they hit the water, but as we've known, you wait till they come up, because that's when the big cheers come from the teams. That's when they can hear you, right?
Exactly.
You're supposed to be remaining relatively silent in the pool area. You're not supposed to be talking during these dives. We get away with it because we're professionals.
We get a free, in quotes,
Yeah.
air quotes.
We've had our fair share of dirty looks shot our way throughout the years as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, these people aren't used to our presence here.
So that's why we're kind of talking in these hushed tones,
Yes.
almost like we're greenside at Augusta National.
You're doing your best Jim Nance. aren't you?
Absolutely. Izzy Morris up next, 1.6 on the degree of difficulty. Forward 1.5 somersaults into the tuck. And there's that big round of applause as we get another look at it. Anderson Lee up next from Seaholm. 1.5 on the degree of difficulty, back 1 somersault into the tuck position. Still trying to correct that scoreboard. Feet first. Natalie Woodridge up next. 1.7 on the degree of difficulty. It's one of the more difficult dives we've seen so far. Back 1 somersault into the straight position. How many somersaults, Andy, do you think you could pull off?
What's less than 1? A half? A half.
Over under
A half
0.5.
somersault?
Well, I could do 1, I'm sure, but I'm not sure exactly what angle I would hit the water at. That's the problem.
What about a triple Lindy?
I'm out.
Andy's more of kind of a synchronized type of diver. He would
I
go
can
like
see
in
it.
like
I
a
can see
tandem.
Yeah.
There we see another look at that last dive.
Excuse. Back 1 somersault into a tuck. 1.5 on the degree of difficulties. So it'll be diver number 7 here in round 2, Lauren Deegan. 2.3 on the degree of difficulty. Back 1 somersault, 1.5 twists into the free position.
There we see that one come through. The crowd is erupting a bit here. She comes up.
This is quite a divergence from when the real swimming starts. I mean, it's all quiet, everything's hush. And then when this thing blows up, it's just screaming and yelling and cheering.
The sound really echoes in
oh, yeah.
the pool
If
area.
you were here, if our viewers were here when these girls came into the pool, they were loud and vocal.
Oh, were they ever?
Screeching, I would call it
Back
a
and forth.
shrill sort of.
Over top of one another.
This is Kate Ballard, 2.0 on the degree of difficulty. 2 somersaults, back dive into a tuck position.
You know, if I were a judge here, I'd say that one was pretty good. That's about as close as we can give you right now to those scores. What would we score that? 6.5? 7? Am I close? There's the first dive of round number 3 here.
Wasted no time getting that one in.
They don't play games here at Seaholm.
Nia Green up next. 1.9 on the degree of difficulty. Forward 1 somersault, 1 twist into the free. Not bad.
There's a lot of moving parts there. I think it was pretty well done. So we'll see it one more time. I got dizzy just watching that replay there.
So you got dizzy or Izzy? Because Izzy's up next. Izzy Morris.
I see what you did there.
Forward 2 somersaults into the tuck.
You know, sometimes I wonder how close they're getting to that diving platform when they're launching off. I mean, I feel like over the years in practice, there's got to be some sort of accidents that do occur.
Well, we've seen heads come scarily close. We've seen feet come close on some of these somersaulting dives. This is Anderson Lee. 1.4 on the degree of difficulty, inward dive into the tuck.
Moving through here in round number 3. Natalie Woodridge.
You might be asking yourself, what exactly is an inward dive?
I was.
When the body from a backward standing takeoff position rotates forward around a transverse axis. Didn't know there would be geometry involved.
And people said math doesn't matter. This is proof.
That's only what I was telling myself going through school.
Yeah, right, right.
But here I am years later, and darn if it isn't coming up.
Oh, it just did.
Yeah, exactly. Guess I should have paid a little more attention
Right.
back then.
Skews 1.4 on the degree of difficulty, inward dive into the tuck position. So we'll see that transverse axis take shape here.
Now you're just showing off.
We'll see.
He's a bit of a swimming, diving savant, you know.
A wordsmith.
He's a wordsmith.
That looked pretty impressive to me.
Lauren Deegan. Inward 1.5 somersaults into the tuck position. 2.2 on the degree of difficulty.
Oh, that looked good. And there was some early cheering to signify that they agreed, and the crowd erupts here for Lauren.
She nods her head.
She knew. She's like, yeah, that's right.
She went deep down into the pool, too.
Just checking out the bottom.
Kate Ballard up next from Birmingham C. Home. 2.2 degree of difficulty. Forward 2 somersaults into the tuck.
Still no working score, so we're gonna have to just do our best to tell you how well we thought the dive was, and I think that was a good one based on the crowd's reaction. Minimal splash, good execution as we see it one more time.
Halfway through the diving portion, 6 total dives tonight. Exhibition dive. Aramian. Forward 1 somersault into the tuck.
Bit of a forward lunge there.
Nia Green, 1.4, inward dive into the tuck.
Oh, they're getting hype over there on the far wall, the Groves Gator squad.
Seems kind of funny that they warm up,
Yeah.
then they dive, and they all sit around. And then they got to re-warm up. So we
Yeah.
had a little bit of a balk there.
There was.
Now she's going to tiptoe out on the end of the board. Making me nervous.
Yeah, I'd slip. I'd slip for sure.
Are there balks in swimming? I guess there is. We just saw one.
I mean,
right?
we'll
Is
have to ask the home
Yeah, it
plate
doesn't-
umpire.
What's the consequence?
No consequence.
Does that honestly-
Consequences, they tell the scoreboard to stop working.
Okay, because I wonder if that plays into the score. When does the scoring start? The moment you leave the end of the board, or
Yeah, true.
as you enter, get
Yeah.
up on it and prepare? I don't know. We should know that. I think we'll get some answers after the diving's done.
Well,
We'll get our
Usually,
research department on
a
it.
balk is declared by the referee and will cause a deduction of 2 points per judge.
Oh.
If the
You
diver
just had
balks
that on
again
the
or
top of your
falls
mind.
into the water, the referee declares a failed dive.
Oh,
Okay.
obviously.
We got answers.
So,
Questions, answers. Boom.
That's why we got the #1 professional in the swimming biz right here on play-by-play, Brad Fetters.
In Birmingham, he is. He's number one.
He is.
He's the number one. The lead guy.
Yeah, he's walking down Covington and people say, whoa, you're that swim and dive guy.
That's him. There he is.
Natalie Woodridge. 1.7 forward, 1.5 somersaults into the pike. Little brief break here in the action.
Is this one of those balks?
Yeah, balked perhaps by the judging crew. I don't know. That was kind of scary close to the board.
I think the closer the better. It's got to affect some form of the scoring, you'd have to think.
Yeah, you probably don't want to get too far out from the board.
Yep, got to stay as vertical as possible when projecting into the water.
Lauren Deegan, 104C, 2.2. On the degree of difficulty, forward 2 somersaults into the tuck. Sweet.
Yeah,
That was cool.
nice tight tuck. Right in there. Smile to say, yep, that's right.
Okay, Ballard, 2.3. Forward 1 somersault, 2 twists into the free. And do you ever ask yourself, what is the free position in diving?
I was asking myself that this morning, as a matter of fact.
It's the only diving position which isn't recognizable by a specific body shape. Instead, a dive is in the free position if the diver is combining 2 or 3 diving positions in their twisting dives.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was thinking.
yes. As we head into round number 5. Huh.
We're just cruising along.
Reminder that the 200-yard medley relay coming up next.
Oh,
That'll be event number 1 of 12 here tonight.
Only 12. That's okay, guys. I'll save you. I got plenty of fun facts.
oh,
I went off the board this time. Usually I get swimming fun facts, and I've gone through a lot of those over the years. But tonight I went with water. And there are some fascinating statistics about water on this planet. which
Really?
I'll leave that as a teaser for right now.
I'm locked in. And that means you at home, you're not going to want to step aside.
balk in the action, hey?
Definitely a hold-up. Izzy Morris, 1.6 reverse dive into the tuck. They don't have the cool-down warm-up pool anymore.
No, they did. That's true. Over in the corner. That's right.
Remember that little, like, jacuzzi?
Mm-hmm.
I think we might have lost a judge. There's only 2 at poolside right now.
Is it Aaron? Is he out breaking home run records? Aaron Judge?
62 homers.
It's not the record. Just want to point that out.
Seems unusual. He didn't play, though, his last game to get that batting title.
Good. Miggy deserves to have the last
Yeah, he's
Triple
going to have the
Crown.
last
Yep.
Triple Crown. That's right.
Darn right.
Perhaps he sat it out hoping his competition would flounder.
Maybe. It
Flounder.
didn't happen, though.
Speaking of swimming.
Third
Andy,
judge is
I know
back.
You mentioned you've had some fun facts over the years, and I know we've shared them throughout the broadcast. Do you know what the oldest swimming stroke is?
I should remember this because this was on one of my sheets.
Yeah, this was one, this morning I said, I'm going to stump him with this one.
It's either the breaststroke. Is it the breaststroke? The
That's it.
backstroke?
I mean, it's one of those two.
I don't remember.
It's the
Right.
breaststroke, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah. Fun fact for you.
there you go.
I had to hop in on all that. Goes back all the way to the 1st century BCE. Not even BC. BCE.
Good times.
Like Earth.
Remember it well.
Yeah.
Before Earth. Yeah, I remember too that a lot of swimmers have had trouble with their shoulders over the years, especially those who specialize in the butterfly, because that's kind of an unnatural movement for your arms and shoulders to undergo, especially as you do all your practices day after day.
Natalie Woodridge, 2.2 on the degree of difficulty forward 2 somersaults into a tuck. Ooh.
That had to hurt.
Yeah, that. Look at her. She covers her mouth like, oh, uh-oh.
Kind of landed right on her back.
Yeah.
That looked painful.
That's why they got the ripple in there going to try to prevent the impact as a flat water without any ripple effect would do. So to ease the pain, I guess, if something like that happens.
Molly with the 1.6 dive, forward 1.5 somersaults into the tuck. Really enjoy bringing you the judges' scores. It feels like we're at quite the disadvantage
Yeah.
not
I'd
having
say.
something to refer to.
Well, at least it's got the time up there for us.
I mean, we could be making something up.
Even
We should score this one ourselves.
Lauren
There's
Deegan
3 of
now.
us. There's 3 judges.
Forward 1 somersault, 2 twists and free.
There it is.
Let's get another look at it on our BACB Sports replay. Last dive in round 5 will belong to Kate Ballard, 2.3, back 1 somersault, 1.5 twists into the free position. Everybody quiets down.
It's like the 18th tee box.
A lot of grandparents in front of us out with their cell phones out.
Maybe they'll pick up our audio.
they got those consumer cellular plans going, you know?
What are those?
Oh, it's sort of a lower end cell phone plan for if you don't need that
Oh,
many
all the
minutes,
minutes?
or
Yeah.
you're, you know, yeah, that
Maybe
much
I
data.
should switch over to that.
Well, you could save some money. I don't think it would be advantageous for me. I feel like I'm on my phone all day.
Finding a bunch of fun water facts.
That's right.
Unless you just knew them.
No, I didn't just know that. I had to look it up in my encyclopedia,
The
Britannica.
the original with the actual cover and pages.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Rolling along here in round number 6, and then you know what time it is. 200-yard medley relay time, o'clock.
There comes the crowd. Looks like we might have skipped over our 2 exhibition dives.
I have a little brief delay here.
Not mistaken, Natalie Woodridge is up right now. 2.2 in the degree of difficulty, 1.5 somersaults, inward dive
Nope.
into
She
the tuck.
said, I'm going to step down.
Back to the water. Heels just over the board.
Not sure that was what she had hoped for.
Excuse. 5121D. 1.7 on the degree of difficulty. Forward 1 somersault half twist into the free.
You know, if you're one of these swimmers waiting over there on the side, what are you thinking about right now? Are you just chomping at the bit to get in the water? Are you taking in the diving? Are you spaced out? I mean, there's a lot of options.
I don't know, but I'm watching these girls with those rags as they were, you know, they run them up their legs before they're getting ready
Right.
to do their dive. What is that for?
I feel like you.
It reminds me of Eric Haas undoing his
batting
batting glove
glove
with
thing.
every pitch. It's
Yep.
sort of like almost like a nervous
Yeah, I don't know
crutch.
if
I
they're.
don't know. We'll find out more. I
We'll
think
get the
I'm gonna
research
Do a little
department on
research
that.
on
Yeah.
that one, maybe.
Announcement to quiet down.
I think that was directed at you, Brad.
Perhaps.
All right, now we can speak again here at the pool. Didn't want to shout it at over everyone here. But you know, I did ask the research department, and they said it's to prevent the divers from losing grip. So they like to keep their hands, legs, and feet as dry as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to slip off the end of the board.
Right.
Lauren Deegan, 1.7 reverse dive into the pike.
And a lot of divers will actually, at the Olympic level, rinse off in a warm shower in between their dives to keep their muscles warm so they don't spasm or tense up.
Well, in the past,
had
we've had
that
that little,
Yeah.
that little jacuzzi pool.
But I don't know, was it warm water though? I never went over there and stuck my finger in it. I'm not sure how hot or cold the temperature was, but it looked, how do you keep it warm if it was? I don't think it was warm.
So this is Kate Ballard, reverse one somersault into the tuck. 1.6 on the degree of difficulty. Oh boy, making some noise now.
There's life. There's life after all.
I believe that should. Well, maybe. They allow a diver to perform a dive over. Maybe this should be Kate Ballard, 1.6, reverse one somersault into the tuck. Last Seaholm diver. Big approach. Nice entry into the pool.
Good entry. The crowd will go wild here. As they do, right on cue. And now the swimmers getting up, ready to hop in.
As we mentioned, it will be the 200-yard medley relay coming up next right here on BACB Sports.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
And
Welcome back to Seaholm High School 200-yard medley relay. The order of the medley relay: backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, and then the anchor will be the freestyle. Exhibition races, if you're unfamiliar with the varsity swim and dive, first races of every event are exhibition races, giving some experience to some underclassmen. We'll let you know when all the points races will occur. So we got a Seaholm team in lanes 1, 3, and 5 and 6. Groves teams in 2 and 4.
Seaholm is outnumbering, so to speak.
It's a very proud tradition of championships here at Seaholm High School.
And just look at the walls covered.
3-time defending state champions. The Seaholm Maples. And back in 2018, they came in second. So for the last 4 years, they've been on the podium in either the first or second spots.
Wow.
Groves finished 5th last season at the state championships. $164.5 points behind Seaholm.
Wow. Just really separating themselves from the pack.
Yep. Seaholm team in lane 5 coming away victors in that exhibition race. Battenberg, McBride, Dresden, and Cavalier.
Looks like they swept the top 3.
Team in lane 3 coming in second. That was Catherine Davis, Emily Henderson, Katie Tappan, and Hannah Marshall. Now this will be the points race. Obviously, the 2 lanes to pay attention to the most will be the center 2 lanes.
4 and 5.
In this case, it'll be 3 and 4.
Oh.
Only 6 lanes.
Come on now. Traditionally, it's 4 and 5.
You got it.
And why is that? We've talked about that because there's less wave action from the sides sort of rushing in. You get the least amount of resistance in those center lanes.
I always wondered why they put those who qualified in those 4 and 5 spots.
Now you know.
Now I do.
So Seaholm in lanes 1, 3, and 5. So the odd number lanes, and the lanes are numbered 1 at the very bottom of your screens. The Gators of Groves in the even lanes 2, 4, and 6. 6 at the top of your screens, 1 at the bottom of your screens. There's a beautiful close-up by our BACB Sports cameras. Early lead for lane 5, Anderson Hassett. They'll turn it over to Samantha Clifford, and Abby Stanley will anchor lane 5. On the third stroke right now, which is the butterfly. Heat 2 of 2, so this is your finals. This is your points race. D2 qualifier, if you're interested, 156.99. 156.99 is an automatic qualifier for the Division II meet come the end of the season. Oh boy, lane 5 in cruise control right now as they are putting a hurting on the competition. Huge lead right now.
So maybe I was right after all, looking at lanes 4 and 5. They are your top 2 right now.
And it will be lane 5 that comes in first. Avery Anderson, Kelly Hassett, Samantha Clifford, and Abby Stanley coming out in front. And it was a sizable victory. Let's see, by nearly 6 seconds, 6.2 seconds. Wow.
It looks like they hit that qualifier as well.
They did. The top 2 spots did. Top 2 spots.
Moving on over to the second event of the evening, the 200-yard freestyle race. We'll have 2 heats. First one will be your exhibition. But there are 7 swimmers.
Racers
both are
works.
accurate.
Delatorre Woolley in lane 1. Lucrecio in lane 2. Ting in lane 3. Kim in lane 4. Schneider in lane 5. Erickson in lane 6. And Noper in lane 8. So 7 vacant right now.
Andy, you know why they leave that 7th lane unoccupied?
Why is that, Nick?
I was hoping you'd know, actually. Let me get the research
Thought you were
department
going to
on that
regale me
one
with
and
some
we'll get back
lay
to
some
you.
knowledge on me. It does seem a little odd. Why would that be? I don't know. Maybe it's broken. No, that can't be it.
Well, I can tell you one thing. It's going to happen in our next race, too. There's nobody in lane 7. Somebody didn't shock lane 7, apparently. Lane 7's not going to be used at all tonight. I'm not kidding.
Huh. Maybe that's one we can get the research staff on. Because that's a puzzler.
Another big lead for lane 5. Allison Schneider, junior from Seaholm. Brianna Kim in second. Chloe Ting in third. Ting, a senior at Seaholm.
The research department here stumped, so they're going to have to take a deeper dive. They said, Nick, I'm sorry, we're working overtime here, and we don't have anything for you. They might head down to the deck and try to get some answers.
So it'll be a win for Allison Schneider and a time of 2:07.79. 2:07.79. Second place finish for Kim. Ting comes in third. Delatorre Woolley finishes in fourth. Individual events, first place nets a team 6 points. Second place gets you 4. 3 points for third place finish, 2 points for fourth. Fifth place gets 1 point, and sixth place, the goose egg. No points for sixth place finish here tonight.
No qualifying times there in that last one for Division 2. Time was 2:01.39. Best time was 2:07.79. So close.
So once again, those qualifying times, those are automatic qualifiers. You turn in a time better than that, you're heading to states. Megan Murray in lane 1, Maya Shelton in lane 2, Skylar Jansen will occupy lane 3. Lane 4 has Aiden Lockwood in it, Samantha Clifford in lane 5, Maya Goel in lane 6, and Bridget Cullen from Birmingham Groves in lane 8. Maya Goel recently came in 10th in the 100 free at Oakland County, so talented freestyle swimmer. Samantha Clifford, one of the superstars for Seaholm this season. Currently in first place here in lane 5. Second place being occupied by Skylar Jansen. Clifford with a sizable, call it a 3.5 second lead.
Yeah, kind of just pacing herself here, and it's hasn't really needed to turn on the jets just yet. Pretty comfortable lead.
Clifford's arguably one of the more versatile swimmers in Carl Hodgson's lineup. She finished third in the 50 free, and she finished third in the 500 free.
Oh, that
so she's a sprinter and a distance swimmer.
You know, they have that little warm-up pool over there behind. Do you think the swimmers are warming up or cooling down, or both?
Yes.
All right.
So it will be Samantha Clifford cruising to victory in a time of 1:53.32. 1:53.32, state qualifying time. Second place, Skylar Jansen. And it'll be a photo finish for third. Who touched first? It will be Aiden Lockwood of Birmingham Groves. So the top two finishers on the podium will be from Seaholm.
Heading into heat number 2 in the third event. D2 qualifying time, 2:18.29. This will be the points race here.
Exhibition race.
Oh.
Event number 3, heat 1. So it'll be an exhibition race. Avery Allen in lane 1, Delaney Miller lane 2, Campbell Lyons in lane 3. Alex Mann will be in lane 4, and Ella Gifford, a sophomore from Seaholm, in lane 5.
And you know, I would never ever want to diminish the value of these coaches, Daniel and Carl's value to their program, but I remember asking some of these swimmers over the years, as all of this encouragement's going on, they're shouting out directions, they're encouraging, they're yelling. Same with wrestling. I asked these players and the swimmers and the wrestlers, do you hear any of that when you're out there actually performing? Nope, not a word. Absolutely not. I'm so focused, I don't hear a thing. It's all white noise to me. So I can't imagine they could hear it. It's so loud in here. The walls are bouncing sound, and you're in the water.
Yeah, so these coaches have to find a different way to connect with their swimmers.
I don't know what
during the race, or they just have to chalk up the loss in that regard and
Maybe.
say we're just gonna have to coach them up right before.
Yeah.
Carl Hodgson, one of the more animated swim coaches we've seen, is
Oh, he's totally into it. He always is. Yeah. And he's a great coach. We've gone to his practices before as doing some film footage for our Beyond the Box Score show. Once upon a time, Carl is into it. Big time.
Daniel Torriglia, the brand new head coach at Birmingham Groves. He's kind of got that arm movement going.
Yeah, maybe that's the key, just to get you.
He's like a third base coach waving in that runner.
I was just gonna, I was gonna say that.
You read my mind?
I was in your mind there.
It's a little frightening. Run, Nick, run.
Should I?
Run away.
So a nice victory for Delaney Miller. Time of 32.48 in that last sprint to the wall. Total time of 2:26.06, 2:26.06. Second place finish for Chloe Gifford.
So
Check that, Ella Gifford.
So shall I now say, this is heat number 2 of event 3, the points race. Slightly premature earlier when I spoke of that. For that, I apologize.
6 participants. Let's give it to you. Haley Crow in lane 1. Bella Magarello in lane 2. Lindsay Lures in lane 3. Stella Grakey in lane 4. Chloe Gifford in lane 5. And in lane 6, Ashley Klein.
Do you guys know how to swim? Would you say?
Barely.
But you, yes?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
the 3 of us all know how. Everyone down there knows how. But nationally, in the United States, less than 50% of the population knows how to swim.
It's hard to believe, really.
Come
Really?
on, people. Be better.
Be better.
So we get the backstroke portion of this individual medley.
That I don't know if I know how to do. I could try.
Backstrokes,
That's not
relatively
that's
easy.
not too bad.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've tried.
try it the next time you're in the ocean.
Afterwards,
Or I'll just
tonight.
jump in tonight.
Yeah, just jump. Do it in between one of the heats.
Yeah.
Exhibition race featuring Nick Buckler
Yeah. Lane 7's been
versus
open all night.
himself.
Lane 7, they're just waiting. That's why it's
There you
empty.
go,
It's
yeah.
my lane.
Go put your cap on.
I don't need a cap.
You should be able to get 2 or 3 laps in before the police
Somebody
arrive.
noticed. Chloe Gifford commanding lead right now. Her teammate in second place, Lindsay Lures. Gifford, senior. Ella Gifford, sophomore. A little 1-2 punch in this event. We're going to have a
The family knows how to race.
Gifford clean sweep, perhaps.
I wonder the competitive level between those two. In the off season, I'm sure they train together.
There's another event coming up
Will they be
after this
both in
one.
it?
That's a freestyle. We won't see Gifford for a while, I don't think. Yeah, well, 100-yard butterfly.
Looks like
So-
we had 2 qualifiers there.
Gifford Grakey comes in second. Gifford first, Grakey second, Lures in third.
Gifford and Grakey both had D2 qualifying times there. Time was 2:18.29. Came in at 2:14.21, 2:18.06 respectively.
So the fastest race of the night, there and back, essentially, Andy.
Yeah, I could do that
That's
one.
something you can get.
Should we
on
add a
board with.
6th heat? No, we'll go in for the final one, the points race.
Sure.
Just
So-
got to pledge your allegiance ahead of time.
We'll have 5 heats of this, four exhibition races.
And we'll be the 6th heat.
I
We
think-
will be the points
I think everybody's getting involved in this race.
including us. No? All right. Sorry for suggesting.
Mallory O'Brien in lane 1, McKenna Schaffner in lane 2, Jessica Zablocki in lane 3. Bianca Genie in lane 4. Emily Henderson, lane 5. Emma Blake in lane 6. Haley Marshall in lane 8. The official asking all the swimmers to step down. I think there might be something wrong with the starting blocks in lane 6, perhaps.
Yeah, it looks like there's a couple swimmers and an employee or coach.
Is there ever not one of these issues at these events? And I am not casting aspersions because we talk about the electricity and water and how those two just don't work together very well usually.
Yeah.
And all volunteers.
And there's parents doing their best out here, and to them, we applaud them. Okay, let's give it another try.
They're going to hope it works. Keep your eyes on lane 6 and hope that the block is fixed and ready. Looks like there were no issues as she entered the pool.
This is an all-see home race. So a little bit of home cooking in this one. I think it's safe to say a Maple will win.
Going out on a limb there, Brad?
Yep.
Yeah, well, you're a risk taker.
It's going to be a photo finish. Real tight race between lanes 3 and 5, Zablocki and Henderson. And I think it's going to be Zablocki. It will be Zablocki. Oh! Schaffner comes in second. Henderson comes in third.
Heat 2 is also an all-see home race as well.
All see home all the time.
That's right. Nothing but Maples here in these first 2 heats.
Simmons, McBride, Tanzos, Layer. Cockcroft. Heatherly, rather. Suarez. Slight advantage for lane 4. Maya Layer. Layer gonna touch before McBride. Now race for third will be won by Heatherly. Well, some Groves Gators are gonna be involved in this next heat.
All right.
Let's introduce them. Charlotte Chalker in lane 1, Chloe Al-Khatib in lane 2, Courtney Markham in lane 3, Clara Vigan in lane 4, Haley Tetralt in lane 5, Nina Atisha in lane 6, and Allie Rawl in lane 8. I feel like we always give this disclaimer, but it needs to be said every single time we call a swim meet. It'll be Tetralt coming in first, Vigan in second, Tisha in lane 6 coming in third. We'll give the disclaimer again. I apologize in advance if I mispronounce any names here tonight. We are literally handed these sheets right before the start of the meet. Told, here you go, announce. No chance to talk to any of the athletes beforehand to get pronunciations.
Nope, that's true.
So, doing our best.
That's the nature of the beast. I mean, it's just the way this sport's set up. You got other sports where there's plenty of time to figure it all out.
So I apologize.
Well, you want me to take Heat 4 and introduce the swimmers?
Go ahead, Nick.
All right, lane 1, we got Maya Cower, lane 2, Maggie Latricio, Clara Ordona, lane 3, lane 4, Lauren Olds, Augustina Burgess in lane 5, lane 6, Casey Schindler, and in lane 8, Alyssa Woodridge. And now that I've announced them, they are done.
Burgess coming in first. And second place was in lane 3, Ordonia. Points race in the 50-yard freestyle. Gotta pay attention. Those middle 2 lanes. Kelly Hassett, perhaps a name to pay attention to. She is a freestyle extraordinaire. Memmer, Benavides, Medley, O'Brien, Hassett, Otten, and McLaughlin.
Yeah, and
Lanes
right
1
on
to
cue,
8.
Hassett looks like to be the leader here. Looks like lane 5, followed by lane 4, lane 6.
Hassett first, O'Brien second, out third. Benavides coming in 4th.
And Hassett was the only D2 qualifier. The automatic bid.
So we will have a 10-minute warm-up right now, because this would be normally our diving event. So we already had the diving portion of the evening.
They
So
don't do
now
it again?
We get a 10-minute break, and we'll turn it over to event number 6, the 100-yard butterfly. So folks, don't go anywhere. When we come back here on BACB Sports, it'll be the 100-yard butterfly. Don't go anywhere.
Staring contest.
You still got it.
I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back inside the Natatorium here at Birmingham Seaholm High School. The first event, first heat of the 100-yard butterfly. Rebecca Turner, Avery Allen, Campbell Lyons, and Alyssa Woolridge, the 4 competitors here in this exhibition race. Turner in lane 1, Allen in lane 3, Lyons in lane 5, Woodridge in lane 8. Really got them separated here.
You know, there is a song. You got to keep them separated.
Offspring.
That's what they're doing.
Saw them this year. Phenomenal band.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, I saw them at the Fillmore. Never seen them before. They were great.
Oh, this is a little bit of an exaggeration. The fact that they have them really spaced out here.
Yeah, they do. That's for sure. They are most certainly spaced out across this pool. But again, no one in lane 7.
And I got word on
Oh.
that. Yes, I went down to the scorer's room, and we, in fact, as we surmised, do have a dead block down there.
All right.
So we
look at us
now
up
know
here.
we can stop the speculation.
So
And
Turner came in first, Woodridge came in second, Lyons in third, and Allen in 4th. Point race time, 100-yard butterfly. Olivia Dresden in lane 1, Bridget Cullen in lane 2, Avery Anderson in lane 3, Ashley Gleim in lane 4, Chloe Gifford once again, the senior Seaholm in lane 5, and Lauren Camp will occupy lane 6. Come out of the blocks. Really strong push out of the blocks by Avery Anderson in lane 3. See who makes that big turn. This is where the race could potentially be won or lost in this turn. 3-woman heat right now. Slight advantage. Chloe Gifford in lane 5. You know, something not quite right with the scoring. They had Dresden in first, which we know is not the case. Gifford. Followed closely behind by Lauren Camp.
This is going to be a photo finish here, I think, from lanes 3 and lane 5. What do we got?
101.99 state qualifying time. Not going to get that. We're going to get Anderson in first, Gifford in second. So a little bit of a come from behind win there for Avery Anderson.
0.2 of a second difference between first and second, so very, very close.
That was our best race of the night by far.
That's why they call it a photo finish. You have to go back to the tape and check that one. Luckily for today's technology, no need. Welcome to event 7, folks. This is the 100-yard freestyle. 4 heats. This will be heat 1 of 4. And they're in and they're off.
And I was able to talk to both coaches down there during our break, and Carl Hodgson, for Seaholm in particular, said he likes his team. He likes what's going on. He's not as happy with things this year as he's been the last couple years. I said, Carl, don't beat yourself up. You guys have been amazing, state champs and all that stuff, you know, so don't kill yourself on that one. Daniel made me feel a little bad, though. He said he remembered when we were calling his matches when he was in high school.
Oh.
I was like, man, Dan, you need to tone it back, man. You know how to hurt a guy. That doesn't make me feel much younger, because he's a grown man now. And that was at least 7 years ago. We've been doing this how long now?
Wow.
Years and years. We've been doing it years. So
Yeah, you guys are why I got into broadcasting.
turn back now.
Boy.
Now I feel,
Okay.
honored to share the booth with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. O'Donnell first, Lair second, Noel third, Davis fourth, Edwards fifth. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah. But Danny said that they lost some senior leadership last year, but he's been really proud of his ladies, the ones who've stepped up, carry the load into this season. So all positive.
Does Coach Hodgson believe that there could be a 4th consecutive state championship with this current team that he boasts?
Well, I didn't ask him that question, but I would presume he's not ruling it out.
I mean, you can't really. When they've been there for so long, you just have to almost expect it.
Yeah,
to
winning
to a
becomes
certain point.
expected.
Exactly.
It's like the Patriots year after year there for a while. Just nothing short of the championship will do.
Right, championship or bust.
Well, they started really winning state titles back in 2016. We mentioned in 2022 they won a state, or 2021 rather, they won the state title. 20 and 19 they had the second place finish, and 18, 16 they won a state title. But prior to that, it had been a while. 1997 was the year prior to 2016. Last time the Maples were able to capture a championship. So really Carl Hodgson has really brought this team to where they needed to be.
But in the 90s, they may have had a similar type dynasty. They three-peated. 95, 96, 97.
It's getting that crop of swimmers and 3 or 4 year bursts when everything just seems to be peaking. We mentioned Seaholm coming off a 4th place finish at Oakland Counties, and he said, well, you might say to yourself, well, 4th place, you guys are talking state championship, but at Oakland Counties includes every school in Oakland County, which does include some Division I teams. And that's not a fair fight.
No.
When you're talking Division I versus Division II, all based on enrollment size.
You just have more swimmers and more students to choose from. So your chances of getting some more developed swimmers, higher skill swimmers, it kind of just comes with the territory.
Heat number 3, event number 7, Jordan Nova in lane 1, Olds in lane 2, Ting in lane 3, Tisha in lane 4, Parent in lane 5, Vegan in lane 6, Al-Khatib in lane 8.
The halfway point looks like Parent, Ting, Jordanova are your top 3 so far. Looks like Parent's going to run away with this one.
Gentlemen, you guys getting excited for the next event?
Oh,
You know what it is, don't
that's
you?
why I
five?
show up.
It's the 500 free.
That's when we start peeling out some of the fun facts.
You're talking about a race that's over 5 minutes long.
The qualifying time for D2 in that is 5 minutes, 26 seconds and 99 hundredths of a second. So
Wow.
just a sliver under 5:27. That's the qualifying time. We might not even have that. My bet says we will, just because of the quality of these programs. But you know, we got 2 heats in that event. So we're going to be strapped in for about 12 minutes.
Jackie Moss.
Jackie Moon.
Jackie Moss has the school record for the 500 free.
What is that time?
5 minutes, .64. 5 minute, .64. That was set back in 1984.
84.
1984.
No one's come close yet, huh?
Nope, Jackie Moss set it. Current pool record was set back in 2020.
From Rochester Adams swimmer, looks like.
Yep.
Another Oakland County school that is represented at the county meet. One of those D1 programs that you spoke of.
Stanley coming in first, O'Brien in second, Lures in third, Murray fourth, Miller fifth.
Are you ready?
Here we go.
What does Taylor Swift say? Are you ready for it? Dun, dun, dun. I think she meant this event right here when she said that.
We're going deep into the obscure bucket here. But not for a Taylor Swift fan like Nick, that's for sure.
I like her older stuff. No shame in my game here, folks.
Okay.
I'll let the world know. I
Next-
just put it on record.
Next thing you're going to be quoting Ed Sheeran or something.
You know, if you say you're perfect, you are. If you're on the A team, you are.
Of course.
Those
It
were a
really does
couple-
go without saying.
Those were a couple Sheeran song titles right there.
I assume so. Yeah.
I fired your way. You know, after you get out of the water from this race, you just got to shake it off sometimes.
That's Taylor Swift.
Yes.
I know that.
Yes.
Sorry, folks. We
Now
like
that
to-
I've caught your
We
attention,
like to amuse ourselves.
Lauren Panu in lane 1, Maya Shelton in lane 2, Lila Heatherly in lane 3, Marilyn Kopsch in lane 4, Bridget Bongiorno in lane 5, Jillian Erickson in lane 6.
all underclassmen in this race, 9th and 10th graders.
Well, kind of kick back, relax. County time, which really doesn't matter now because we've already had the county race, 5:44.49. Nick's already made mention of the D2 time, 5:26.99. This is the exhibition race. Panu, a freshman at Seaholm. Shelton, a freshman at Groves. Heatherly, a freshman at Seaholm. Kopsch, a sophomore at Groves. Bongiorno, freshman at Seaholm. And Erickson, a sophomore at Groves. So they convinced all the other underclassmen to swim this event, huh?
That's right. So, do you know how many lengths of the pool? This 20 lengths of the pool. 20. You know? You know. Well, I call a length one way.
Right.
So 100 would be
10,
there and
10,
back
yes,
twice.
10, yes,
So a 10 there and backs.
correct.
10 there and backs.
I call a
get it.
length a half. Did you know, a lot of people go into the pool to cool down. Swimmers actually sweat.
They do.
When they're
That's
in
a
the
fact.
pool.
No, I know. Yeah.
That was one that made me scratch my head.
You wouldn't think it, but if you really do scrutinize the whole process, and we've been to practices, you know how hard these ladies work and all swimmers. If you're exerting yourself, the body's natural mechanism is to perspire, right, or sweat. So makes sense, I suppose.
I mean, I'm sweating up here.
Well, that's different. And memo to self, don't wear a long sleeve shirt under the golf shirt next time.
Yeah, I learned that at water polo, the event we covered, which can be seen on our website, bloomfieldtwp.org. Video on demand tab. Click down to BACB Sports and check out the coverage. We were at Groves covering the boys water polo.
Let's not give too much away. We'll just let our viewers know that it did go into overtime.
And it was rather exciting, nail-biting, some controversy, and a lot of firsts. So it's definitely a good one for us to be at, and you definitely won't want to miss that. And you definitely won't want to miss the rest of this one. So thank you for tuning in.
Do we have time for a couple fun facts about water?
I think we got at least another minute and a half.
Another minute and a half. Well, I can,
just at least.
I can rip off a couple here for you. Do you know that there are 332,500,000 cubic miles of water on the Earth?
So I stopped hearing you at like the 7th number that you said.
Yeah, or a bunch.
Yeah.
Go with that.
Cubic meters or
cubic miles.
Oh, boy.
When's the last time you've heard cubic miles as a
2022,
measure?
and it was also the first time I heard that term.
That's right, and same here. Another fun fact, the average human body, and we hear this a lot, is made up of 55 to 65% water. But did you know that a newborn is made up of 78% water?
Yeah, I've always heard you're about 70% water.
Yeah. So I guess you dry out as you get older. I don't know. So drink your water, folks.
Yeah, that's going to remind me here. They say you're supposed to drink half of your body weight in ounces per day in water.
6 to 8 8-ounce glasses, right? Is that what they say?
And bell indicates we're nearing the end. One more there and back. Big lead for Shelton.
Thank you for using my terms there and back.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's right. We're all about simplifying it for the viewers here.
Kopsch in lane 4 is currently riding in second.
There you saw the teammates letting them know underwater how many laps they have left. The red signifying this is the end. This is your last length. Bring it home.
Big time win for Shelton. Nice Shelton.
Wasn't really close.
Well, Shelton's timed in post.
But she's been done for a bit.
Kopsch came in second. Bongiorno came in third.
Yeah, the board here is not disclosing that, but we got you covered.
Shelton keeps dropping spots
Yeah,
according to the board.
As everyone finishes, she slides down.
Now point race time. Introduce you to our participants. In lane 1, Samantha Memmer. In lane 2, Michaela Benavides. In lane 3, Skylar Jansen. Lane 4 will be Alexis Out. Lane 5, Samantha Clifford. And lane 6, Bella Ruggarello. Mentioned Samantha Clifford in lane 5. She came in third in this event at Oakland Counties. See if she's able to put up similar numbers and win tonight's race. 5 minutes, a lot of time to do just about anything, let alone swim.
Including talk about water.
Let's hear it.
Ready
The
for another one?
dedication, the determination.
Well, these are just some things that make you think a little bit. A bath uses up to 70 gallons of water. If you take a 5-minute shower, you use between 10 and 25 gallons. Okay?
A how long shower?
5-minute shower. So, you know, depending on your shower head, some are low flow, right? But
Yep.
here's a grim detail. The leaks in the New York City water supply. How about this? The leaks in their system, just in New York City alone, account for 35 million gallons of water lost a day.
A day.
That's a lot. Now, I don't know who measured all that, and I assume that means everybody's house, including all the underground pipes. I don't know. But, wow.
So you have to think if you could somehow tighten some things up,
Yeah.
but also put a bucket down and repurpose that water somewhere.
You'd like to think.
Bring it in here. I know Jackson, Mississippi is struggling with water. Obviously, we all know what happened in Flint.
Yep.
And there's just water just going by the wayside.
Yeah, just pouring it out.
No surprise, Clifford in first, Jansen in second, out currently in third.
No surprise at all. Oh, wow. That fact that's got me.
Well, it's a little startling.
But I mean, it's a good thing to put into perspective. A 10-minute shower. You're
Last
losing that
split
much.
for Jansen, 33.59. Out in third, remember in lane once, currently in fourth. Regarello in lane 6 in 5th place. Last split for Clifford, 31.09.
She's just getting better as the race is going on. You think, you really have to prepare. This is one, when they always say it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's exactly what this is. You really have to pace yourself.
Yeah.
Just constantly going for upwards of sometimes 6 minutes. You obviously hope that it's not that long. The D2 qualifying time is just under 5 minutes and 27 seconds.
Our next event will be the 200-yard freestyle relay. Four competitors each swimming 50 yards. Clifford's got this one in cruise control. Jansen in second. Clifford,
Yeah.
the last split 30.83, currently at 402.83. 402.83.
She's kind of like in that NASCAR race where you got that car that's coming up on lap traffic and they're going so fast they're out of sequence, but they've just blown everybody away.
Start lapping people.
Yeah.
It's got to be every 500 freestyle swimmer's favorite sound.
Especially if you're in the lead, but it's no matter what, right?
Her last split was even better.
Well, that's a good distance swimmer, right?
30.60.
Stronger they get, the longer they go.
Yeah. Here she comes.
She's going to touch in a time of 5:03.33. 5:03.33. Easily good enough for state qualifying time. 5:03.33.
And that last split was her best yet, 29.90.
2.7 seconds. 2.7 seconds.
She was the
From
only
the school record.
She was the only qualifying D2 time from this race. And it was by quite a bit. So Jackie Moss's record lives on.
Safe for another day. Aaron
84.
Frank does not have to update that band.
No, he's glad. I saw Aaron out there. He's walking the halls, looking dapper as ever and in charge. Never misses an event. Guy's amazing.
You guys ready for the 200-yard freestyle relay?
It's been circled right after the 500-yard freestyle.
So
that
four
we
of the
were just at.
five teams will be Maples. It's their home pool after all. The only Groves team will be in lane 4. Nina and Tisha, Jillian Erickson, Chloe El-Khatib, and Allie Rawl. First group of swimmers into the water.
Reach.
Mongiorno, tap in Atisha Parent, New. Turn it over to Blake, Turner, Erickson, Terrell, and Jeannie.
Each swimmer will do there and back one time to cover their 50 yards. 50 times 4, 200, and that's how many yards are in the freestyle relay.
Or 2 football fields.
2 football fields. Although
So
don't
they
try and
say.
swim a football field, you won't get very far.
No. That'd be a good conditioning stint, though, for the football team. And 2-a-days in the heat of the summer
Swim the length of the field.
in the mud,
Yeah.
even though they're turf, but just mud it up a little bit.
Schaffner, Noel, El-Khatib, Murray, Suarez, the third member of each of these relay teams, and they'll turn it over to the anchors. Delatorre, Woolley in lane 1, Marshall in lane 3, Rawl in lane 4, Ting in lane 5, and Chalker in lane 8. Another parent filming the event on her phone to let her know that our entire night is being broadcast on BACB Sports. If you missed any portion of the proceedings, check us out online. Nick gave you the websites before, but I'll give them to you again. Birmingham Area Cable Board or Bloomfield TWP.org. Click on the video on demand portion of the broadcast media website. All of our sporting events available to you online, on demand, 24 hours a day. Send the links on to your family and friends.
Getting ready for the points race.
One more fall event. That is the annual Gridiron Clash between the Falcons and the Maples.
Oh.
Seaholm, the most improved team this season in the state of Michigan.
Yeah, we saw Coach DeWalt, what was that, maybe 3
Week
weeks
3,
ago when
yeah.
they were about 3-0 or so before we called a soccer match. And he was walking on air back then. I can only imagine how he feels right now. I'm already formulating my questions for him before that one. He's doing as well as ever.
That one's always a fun one. Always. already up in the newly renovated press box. Climate control. They treat us too well here.
That was a Seaholm team that won one game a year ago. Beat up North Farmington 41-34. This year, perfect 6-0. They've shut out 2 teams. They're perfect 3-0 in the OAA Blue. Two straight losses now to Groves coming into play.
Well, you know, Coach DeWalt has been very consistent on that offense. He runs that Vera offense. And you just have to believe he's finally got the personnel that he's long sought after, because it's working. Is it ever?
So it's the Groves team in lane 4 with the early advantage. Michael L., Lauren Camp, Allie O'Brien, and Alexis Out will be the anchor swimmer. Comes away with the victory. Skylar Jansen, Chloe Gifford, Samantha Memmer, and Samantha Clifford. Gifford and Clifford, they've been solid here tonight.
Those first 2 place teams are good enough for the D2 qualifying time.
Groves team in lane 6 came in 3rd. That was Delaney Miller, Aiden Lockwood, Brianna Kim, and Michaela Benavides. So, 100-yard backstroke will be next. 2 heats. Exhibition race to kick things off. Catherine Battenberg, Riley Schenberger, Catherine Davis in lane 3, Isabella Franco, and Nick.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I know you've been practicing.
I have. Maggie Capsicavathis. Capsicavathis. Senior from Seaholm High School. She's in lane 5.
You want to try it, Andy?
No?
Okay.
You guys are doing great.
Yard backstroke. Qualifying time of 102.29. 102.29. Maggie's got a younger sister, Nick.
Yep.
That's coming up in that points race.
Sadie, the freshman, will be in lane 1 coming up. So I'm sure they train together.
Keep ironing out that last name.
Capsicavathis household.
I'm going to call upon you again to introduce her.
And I just hope that I'm introducing her correctly.
Davis comes away with the victory. Capsicavathis in 2nd. Battenberg in 3rd.
As long as we run the disclaimer again that we're doing our very best, we mean no disrespect to anybody's family, none whatsoever.
Read the fine print.
And yeah, and we throw ourselves on the mercy of the court sometimes to get those pronunciations correct.
Now, how about this points race? It's all underclassmen.
Yeah.
Sadie Capsicavathis, freshman. Libby Knopper in lane 2, freshman. Abby Stanley in lane 3, sophomore. Delphine McLaughlin, junior. Avery Anderson, sophomore. Ireland Kopsch, sophomore.
And that first heat, they were all freshmen, except Capsicavathis was a senior. So, a lot of youth in the 100-yard backstroke.
Yeah, Seaholm doesn't have a lot of seniors on this roster. Senior class, obviously, last year getting the job done. 3 state titles, runner-up finish, their freshman year.
Yeah, all 4 years they were, at worst, runner-up in the state. So, and that was only one time.
It's pretty good.
They could just blame the upperclassmen for that one. Hey, we were just freshmen.
Yep, graduate and say, you know what? 3 state titles and a runner-up. Don't get much better than that. So Anderson in first, Stanley in second. Kapsel-Kapfis in third, McLaughlin fourth. It'll be Kopsch in fifth. Noper in sixth. That was the points race in the 100 backstroke. Turn things over to the 100-yard breaststroke.
The oldest stroke of swimming from 1 BCE, first century. So we're going to head into that 11th event, Heat 1. Just 4 swimmers here. Lane 1, we have Emily Henderson. Lane 2, Casey Schindler. Lane 3, Valentina Cavalieri. Lane 5, Maria McBride. So lane 4 is vacant for this one. Another race of all underclassmen here in the first of 2 heats in the 100-yard breaststroke. And it looks like lane 3, Cavalieri, is the slight leader here as we're approaching the halfway mark, but not far behind is Maria McBride in lane 5. Approaching the 3/4 mark here of the first heat in the 11th event of the evening, the 100-yard breaststroke race. School record was set back in 2016. And we're going to have a close finish here between lane 3 and lane 5. It looks like lane 5, Maria McBride, is going to come in ahead. She will. By a very short margin, 1 minute, 17.2 seconds. Not quite, well, this is the exhibition race, but the D2 qualifier is 1:11.09. And we'll get to see the points race coming up now with 6 racers, including 4 seniors.
Ella Gifford in lane 1, Alex Mann in lane 2, Kelly Hassett, lane 3. Lane 4 will be Stella Drake. Haley Crow will be in lane 5, and Lauren Camp in lane 6. Brad Fetters, Nick Buckler, Andy Aubrey, a 3-man booth tonight for varsity girls swim and dive.
Would you expect it any other way?
Not at all.
And we haven't stepped on each other too much at all.
You know, there's just, we're finding, you know, when you've been doing it together as long as we have, you just know when one guy zigs, the other zags.
It's just
and then the other guy after that, he does something else.
That's right.
I'm just teeing it up for you guys. You're knocking it out of the ballpark tonight.
Thanks, Brad.
We're just complimentary compared to the swim and dive pro, as you showed us
Right.
earlier on this evening in the coverage.
You flatter me. Kelly Hassett with the lead. Hassett touches first, 107.37, 107.37. Camp, 109.41. Those are 2 division qualifying times. Drake also has state qualifying time, 109.52.
And you know, the final event of the evening, there will be 2 heats. The only thing that can compete with the 500-yard freestyle is the 400-yard freestyle relay.
And this is a point in the event where you can make up some valuable points. This first place is worth 8, second worth 4, Third place worth 2. And Seaholm teams in the odd numbered lanes along with lane 6. So the only 2 Groves teams are in lanes 2 and 4. Each swimmer getting 100 yards.
All right, I'm going to lay one last one on you guys. Here we go. And I want to give credit to the website I found this, and I don't seek to preach. That's not my goal here. Even though, ironically, the website I found these details from was called treehugger.com. However, the average faucet releases 2 gallons of water per minute. Now, you've often heard turn the water off when you're brushing your teeth, right? Because if you brush your teeth for 2 minutes and leave the water on, you could save up to 4 gallons per teeth brushing. Multiply that by the number of people in your house, and suddenly you're talking real money. I always got a kick out of my daughter when she moved out. She said, "Geez, Dad, and now I realize why you always told us to turn off the water, turn off the lights when you leave a room." And all
She got
that.
her first water bill?
And when she got her own bills, she says, "It really is noticeable when you pay attention to that." It's like, yeah, you think?
I noticed the same thing with electricity.
Unbelievable.
Are you still in your room?
Mm-hmm.
No? Well, why's the light on? I became that person.
My favorite was coming home to every light in the house
And no
on
one's
when
home?
no one was there.
Yeah, oh, the best.
That was the best.
So, that water that you're saving, where is it saved from?
The municipal water supply. Ironically, the same place you get your bottled water from a lot of times, too, as we are all
So they just
sitting
pump it
here
out
in
into
front of
your
them.
house.
At least a quarter of all the bottled water, they say, comes from municipal water supplies.
Wow.
Which all has to come, from lakes or municipal, or lakes and streams and so forth. And
We are fortunate to be the #1 freshwater
Yep.
bodies around. Made the great state of Michigan.
The
here,
Great
folks.
Lakes State. Water Wonderland. Winter Water Wonderland.
It's going to be a winter wonderland soon enough.
Oh, thanks, Nick.
That's what I'm here for.
I know. Brighten our day. Well, maybe the almanac's wrong.
It's going to
Well,
be a warm summer. Winter.
my Ice Mountain bottle says it's proudly sourced in Michigan. Sanctuary Springs in Rodney, Everett Springs in Everett, and or White Pine Springs in Everett. So there you go.
Okay.
It was also came from Stamford, Connecticut. On the next line. I don't know what to believe anymore.
No, I think that's where it was bottled. I think it was bottled in Connecticut.
So they ship it from Michigan to bottle it in Connecticut and send it back to Michigan for us? That seems
So how
efficient.
much gas is being saved then with all those miles?
Yeah.
And then driven back to
Don't
the Michigan
ask.
store.
Don't
No,
bring
I
that
don't
up.
want to think of that dollar amount.
Maybe just perhaps that's where they're headquartered out of.
That could be.
Couple of the anchors getting ready to go in. Seaholm squad in lane 5 with a commanding lead. Memmer, Medley, Battenberg, Ordonia.
Now we have headsets on. A lot of this noise is canceled out, but no matter what, my favorite is the girl that just shrieks at the top of her
Oh.
voice. I mean, blood-curdling screams as
Yeah.
loud as she
It's
can.
like haunted house.
Get her a job at Erebus.
And then to do that, then they rumble with their feet. The highs and the lows.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a win for lane 5. Memmer, Medley, Battenberg, Ordonia. Seaholm squad in lane 3 comes in second. Trault, Lions, Capsocavathis, and Capsocavathis.
Ah. All right.
Sadie and Maggie together.
And it was a sweep, too. The third place was also Seaholm up in lane 1.
That was a team of Kair, Jordanova, Zablocki, Borges. So, the points race, last event of the night.
Right after lane 6 finishes up here. the exhibition round.
3 Seaholm squats, 3 Grove squats.
Oh.
Let's look at lanes 3 and 4. Lane 3 will be Chloe Gifford, Megan Murray, Lindsay Lures, and Ella Gifford. Gifford and Gifford.
Bookends.
The senior, the sophomore. The sophomore going to be the anchor in lane 3. Then in lanes 4, you got a freshman in Ashley Gleim. You got a junior in Alexis Out. You got the senior in Maya Goel. And then you got in the anchor position, the sophomore Allie O'Brien. That's where I'm going to be paying attention. Lanes 3 and 4, folks. Dark horse, perhaps, lane 5. Skylar Jansen, Abby Stanley, Avery Anderson, Kelly Hassett.
And just for fun, last year, school record was set in this event. And Lindsay Lowers was on that record-setting team. So she's hoping to one-up that time and possibly set another record. Chloe Gifford, I believe, too. Yeah. Incorrect. I stand corrected.
Yeah, that's
It
a
was
Clifford.
Clifford. Samantha Clifford,
We
I
got the
believe.
Cliffords and we got the Giffords here.
And they're
Let's
all
see.
dominating the pool. As we expected, really.
So it is a battle between lanes 3 and 5. Jansen's going to hand it over to Stanley. Gifford's going to hand it over to Murray. Lane 3 into the pool first.
Seaholm would love nothing more than to take position 1 and 2 in this race, and so far that's what it's at.
Alexis
By
out.
pretty good margin so far.
Second swimmer in the pool for Groves. Pretty much a dead heat right now between lanes 3 and 5. Try to give you numbers. They're separated by 11 hundredths of a second.
For those of you wondering at home, that's not much.
Lane 5 with the slight advantage now. That last split was really good for Abby Stanley, the sophomore. She'll hand things off to Avery Anderson, the sophomore.
So the third swimmer now entering the water for respective schools, respective teams.
Looks like Seaholm's going to cruise to the top 2 spots. As the anchor's getting ready, loosening up. Their last 50. D2 qualifying time, 350.59, 350.59. Lane 5. Out
Putting
to
on
a
a
dominating lead. Jansen, Stanley, Anderson, Hassett in the anchor spot.
Just an absolute clinic.
Picking them up, putting them down. Lane 3 in second place. Groves team of Gleim out, Goel and O'Brien in third. Here we go, stretch run. Remaining members of each team urging their swimmers out. Oh, what a performance by lane 5. Jansen, Stanley, Anderson, Hassett, Gifford, Murray, Lures, and Gifford in second. Gleim out Goel O'Brien in third. Groves comes up fourth. No points for fourth place finish, but 12 big ones there for the Maples as they dominate in the pool once again. Can they pull off the rare four-peat? We'll find out later on this season. We'll take a quick break here on BACB Sports. When we come back, our post-match coverage, including our final score and my broadcast partner's final thoughts. That's next right here on BACB Sports.
If you love them enough to do this, surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back one final time to Birmingham Seaholm High School. Brad Fetters with Nick Buckler, and we do have a final score for you as we thought. Seaholm Maples dominating here tonight, 123-63, our final score. Let's quickly go down to pool level, where our very own Andy Aubrey has our swimmer of the meet, Samantha Clifford.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Here now with Sam Clifford from the victorious Seaholm Maple swimming team tonight. Sam, outstanding effort for your team. Give us sort of an overview from the inside of how you saw all that go.
Yeah, it was really great, especially from the start. Even like this morning, we all were super excited, and you can just tell it was a completely different vibe than any other meet.
Yeah. And is that because it's Groves, or is it because it's just the way your team's performing this year in general, or what?
It's definitely a little bit of both, but we all just get like so much more excited, and especially since it's a crosstown rival, we just like step up, all of us did.
Now, I was talking to Coach Hodgson about how the team's doing overall this year, and he said, well, we're good, I don't know if we're as good as last year kind of thing. And I'm like, Carl, come on, state champs, what do you want? You're going to win state championship every year or what? But what kind of responsibility do you and your teammates take on your shoulder for holding up that tradition here?
It's definitely a lot of responsibility, especially being a senior this year. I felt it a lot more, but I think that we'll be able to pull through, hopefully. My teammates have been stepping up, as you can see tonight. And I've been stepping up too. Every day we're getting better and better, so I think it's going to be good.
Well, that's what a good captain does. I mean, you lead by example, and in your case, not only are your efforts in the pool outstanding, I'm sure you're a great leader on the outside too. So keep up the good work. Congratulations to you and your Maple teammates, because it was an outstanding effort. And we'll wrap it up from down here and send it back to Brad and Nick to take us out of here.
All right, thank you so much, Andy and Samantha. Once again, a dominating performance here tonight by the Seaholm Maples. They're the real deal. They're looking to four-peat here this season, Nick.
Yeah, they really are. Anytime you come to Seaholm and you're swimming, you just expect to make it to at least the top two spots here in the state tournament, and it looks like it's going to be another year of a lot of the same. I mean, obviously I don't want to jinx things, but they are well on their way to another very impressive season and hopefully a deep run at the state meet.
Not a lot of seniors on the Seaholm squad. They're going to rely on the underclassmen this season if they want to get the job done, but they got a really good senior in Samantha Clifford. Once again, congratulations to her on being named our swimmer of the meet. Once again, the final score, Seaholm Maples 123, the Groves Falcons 63. For Andy Aubrey, Nick Buckler, I'm Brad Fetters, and the rest of our hardworking BACB Sports crew, including our director tonight, Michael Kappmeyer, we'll say so long one final time from Seaholm High School. We'll see you next time right here on BACB Sports.